you know,
we are Unk now.
Yeah, and like I don't know, heading into the playoffs, like one of the things that I was thinking about a lot is like, okay, I was too young for 92, 93. Like I was alive, but I was not locked in on baseball. I was like a toddler, and I was a hockey kid. So I have nothing from 92, 93.
Yep.
2015, 2016, I have a lot of core memories. I was in the industry, but I wasn't covering the Blue Jays. So I was doing my Raptors freelance stuff and Raptors Republic, but all those Jays games were as a fan. But I had friends of me, like Jonah Birnbaum and I watched the bat flip together, and you know, his roommate at the time who now works for the Blue Jays.
It's the 2015 and 16 runs in terms of some of your friends. You can kind of put them down to a lot of people that are our age as almost like a second college in terms of creating.
And like I'm new-ish to the city. Like I had been here a couple years, but like you haven't built any of those memories yet. So, you know, wild card game with my friend Heyman's from home. And like there was a picture of me where I do not look sober celebrating that home run. So I don't know. I thought a lot about like what are those core memories going to be for people this time around, and I think we got the answer to one of those the other day. That George Springer, like obviously, like everyone is going to be, you know, oh yeah, the ALDS game 1, game 2, that's against the Yankees. Vlad has these huge moments. Those are cool. But the Springer home run is going to be like the bat flip game, where if you actually believed everyone who said that they were at that game, Rogers Center held 500,000 people for the bat flip game, because like more people say they were at the bat flip game than could have been at the bat flip game. I think that's going to be the case for the Springer home run too, where you know, it's not quite as he didn't flip the bat. It wasn't after a 35-minute inning of absolute nonsense against a team they genuinely hated. But that's going to be a really cool one. So I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about that stuff of like obviously trying to stay in the moment and enjoy this, but also like, oh shoot, that's the one. That's the one people are like. George Springer is going to be coming on the JD Bunkis podcast in 2035 when the Blue Jays, you know, punch a wild card ticket when there's like 18 wild card teams each year. And you're like, yeah, George, can we talk about the Game 7 home run?
I can't wait to do it. You don't know what that meant to me. You go, yeah, I've heard that from.
How bad did it hurt when you on one knee when you were hopping down the first base line?
You know what is kind of cool too with this run is when I went to all those games in 15 and 16, up until now, so I sold my tickets to the bat flip game. It's kind of like that. I decided I was with 4 other really good friends. I couldn't decide who I was going to give the other ticket to, so just decided to sell, and we went to a bar and we watched it, and now it's a lucky bar that we go to before going to the games. But I was at the Edwin Edwin walk-off. But outside of that, I was looking at my like playoff record. Those other runs, they lost a lot of games at home.
Dude, I went to I went to the first game that they had in the playoffs in decades and decades, and it was awful.
Yeah, the force field game with the extra innings. Wait, was that 2?
No, game 1 was David Price, and it just didn't go well right from the jump.
Okay, right. Yeah, the game 2 I went to, and it was the Edwin hit a ball to the center field, and I thought it was gone for a walk-off, went to extra innings, and it basically looked like it hit a force field, died, and they end up losing that game. I went to R.A. Dickey, you know, getting smashed up, touched up. Went to those Guardians games where it was even one win, but
think of the bat flip game is like they didn't win a game at home until the decisive game.
That's what I mean. So
they dropped everything.
One of the other cool things about this run is that people have been able to go watch 2 Yankees games where it's pandemonium and celebration, and now you get couple of games against the Mariners, which originally started with 2 losses.
Yeah, they're 4-2 at home.
But that's it. You've gotten 4 home wins. And yeah, I'm lucky enough to be at all those. That's kind of changed my ledger in terms of the record at home. But that's not something, like if you were at the bat flip game, you had that, I know what it's like to be in the stadium when things are rocking and going nuts. If you were at the wild card game against Baltimore, you really have the true understanding of, I know what it's like to be in that stadium going nuts. But now there's 4 others that get added to the tally. This is actually different than those other runs where most of us were celebrating in bars.
Yeah. The wild card one's so fascinating. I'd be curious your take on this. It's like the wild card game it's not as important as the bat flip. The bat flip helped them get to the ALCS, and again, they hated that team. There was a lot of emotion in that. George Springer punched the ticket to the World Series, but the one thing that the wild card home run had going for it, and this is something Joe Carter obviously won the World Series. There will never. It's impossible to hit a bigger home run.
And I did this yesterday. There's literally
it's impossible.
You can't do it.
Yeah, like short of a game going to like 18 innings or something like that, and you walk it off. It's impossible to top the Joe Carter.
By 3 and you hit a grand
Like if
slam.
you're in your backyard as a little kid and you line up a scenario that's the Joe Carter scenario, you're like, that's a little convoluted. Maybe there should only be one runner on base. Anyway. So the wild card thing that it had going for it, and again, maybe it's because that's the one that I was there at as a fan, and I wasn't at the bat flip, and I was at the Springer one as media. But it's also, you don't have to. The Springer one, after it calms down, everyone is then like, oh, there's 9 outs again.
Yeah,
or it's 6 outs again. And the Edwin one, it's like, it's done. You walked it off.
Yes.
A walk-up has like a specialness of like, there is no other shoe that could possibly drop. Again, it's 4. It's number 4 behind those other ones.
It's clearly 4.
But as a celebration moment, you didn't have to like take the beat to be like, oh yeah, there's work to do.
For me, it's the clear number 2 in terms of things I've seen live, because I wasn't at bat flip.
Yeah.
You're right in the sense of the party was different. It was basically, he hit that ball in the air though, and no one even knew that it was a home run, because you just needed the fly ball to catch the runner
fly
from
walks
third.
you off.
So as soon as he put the ball in the air, everybody was like, we had some guys beside us that had popcorn, and my kind of like memory of it was just popcorn and beer everywhere, and hugging McKee and jumping up and down, and then just like
you were at it with McKee.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And it was like a full blown, just everybody losing their minds, and then the chance, and it was fun. It was really fun. The big difference for me though with this is that 2016 team. If people are honest and you were there and you remember it, everybody was bitching and crying about how wild card isn't playoffs and this team isn't the same, and they kind of limped to the finish line, and there was not the same excitement in the city. And it was the same thing. So I bought a sheet to the 2016 run thinking I was going to do the same thing in 2015, which is, okay, I'm going to basically sell these to friends and family and not go for the whole run, but I'll have tickets that, because I can afford.
You're locked in at face.
Yes, locked in at face, bought it. It was easier to get then too, but
you buy a 10-game flex pack, I think you got early access.
Yes, whatever. I think I just had gone to enough games or whatever that I had the early access that blah, 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 blah. Who cares? That's not important. People didn't love that team the same way, and they got on board as the playoffs went on. They beat the Rangers, and it was sort of like, oh, right, we love this Toronto Blue Jays
But it was an
team.
encore act.
Yes, but this group that we're seeing now, it really does feel more like 2015, where the fan base cares so much more about this group than any other one that I've ever seen. And even the difference, and this is going to sound harsh as an unk, this Blue Jays team is more likable than the 2015 team. The 2015 team was our jerks.
Yes.
They were our jerks. They were getting it into it with everybody else. It was like Donaldson and Bautista.
Before they cut him, there's a very famous Danny Valencia sitting along the thing, chirping another team that we can't repeat on air. But like that was the whole attitude. So what?
Yeah. So
what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, that was it. They were very adversarial, and that was cool. I'm not I'm not trying to denigrate that whatsoever. But this Blue Jays team, because it's like it is the misfit crew. It is the weirdo squad. It is. They just did this without Bo Bichette and the number 1 guy they brought in free agency.
Do you want me to wrestling it for you?
Yeah.
2015, they were the heels. Now they're the baby faces.
Yeah, that's it. It's nice to. It's fun to cheer for John Cena.
The tiny, small market Toronto Blue Jays, who are only 4th in payroll up against the evil giant Dodgers.
That is, by the way, a super fun narrative going into this thing of how everyone in America is rooting for the Blue Jays because they all hate the Dodgers and how much they spend. When in reality, it's like the Jays tried to get Juan Soto.
And
the
Shohei.
Jays tried to get Shohei.
Sasaki.
They might have offered Shohei. Well, they did factually offer Shohei more money if you do the real-time dollars versus the future dollars. They tried to get Sasaki. Yeah. Like they're the 4th highest payroll in baseball. They look like they're only going to keep spending more. This is why, again, I'll hammer this home every single show is, if you are a real Blue Jays fan, you have rocks in your head if you think you want a salary cap. Like, if you've looked at what the Toronto Maple Leafs have done and what the Raptors are right now, which, by the way, we're going to get into that preview still in a second here.
Sure.
God, we got to do that. You do not want a cap. Anyway.